live on YouTube now.
Oh boy, I'll tell you about her a little later. We've got 2 weeks of keeping her indoors
Oh
and giving
no.
her medicine through her mouth, which she's never accepted from
Good
us. We have
luck.
to
Yeah.
crush the pill and put it's like she never lets us get that close to her. I don't know what we're gonna do for 2 weeks. She's gonna be so mad inside, just have a litter box again.
Mm. What did they, why was that the advice?
uh, because she can't go outside.
What's wrong with her?
She has a disease, getting a disease in her blood from fleas, and
Oh.
that makes us look like bad people. But I said, well, how late are we? And we looked at the record, and she said, May, you're actually due May, June, July, August. So we're right on time. And
Oh.
they gave her the shot. I mean, they did the rub thing on her because she doesn't like that either. So while we were there, we put it on. So that made me feel a little less guilty. But
Good.
I'm going to ask Kelsey for a stronger medicine, I guess. But wow, she gave them a time today, so they were really ready to give her back. But I don't know how we're going to make it for 2 weeks like this.
Yeah.
Um, she's she's quiet now, but uh,
Exhausted.
yeah, she's exhausted. So
Mm.
anyway,
So she's been meowing all afternoon?
not here. We
Oh.
just got her at 6.
Oh,
You got home
okay.
at 6:15.
Yeah, and she's been quiet except every once in a while we hear 2 meows, but she was really sick, and
Hmm.
she had a temperature of 104. I don't know what a normal cat.
I think their
Um,
temperatures are pretty high compared to ours,
yeah,
but
I might look it up.
yeah, it's
But
good to look that
anyway,
up.
Kelsey volunteered to help me any way she could. So,
Oh,
and
sweet.
maybe there's a another way of getting that medicine in her.
Yeah, probably.
So,
I
does
know
it?
Francoise had like collars that she put on her cats, but she would never allow you to put collar on her.
Oh no, I can't. And
No.
she'll break them. She broke like 3 or 4 of them. Just went like
Four.
that. Yeah,
She's a
and
The last
brave.
one got a bridle
a
under her
harness,
legs.
Uh,
but it didn't. She wouldn't let us put it on her. She's
no,
very wild.
she is
So
wild. She's very lucky to have you guys as her humans.
yeah,
Yeah.
boy, but
Oh.
we weren't didn't know it. Okay, did you want
You
to
ready?
start live?
So hang on, let me get us, we're gonna record here. So welcome to Ancestral Boon. Oh, hang on. Welcome to Ancestral Boon, another episode with Alex and Jay Van Reed. And I think we're going to get to hear about great grandmother Ruth or great grandmother Ruth, depending on who's listening. Yeah, so take it away, Mom.
Well, thank you very much. Do you want to show a picture of the
Sure, let
grandmother?
me pull up the slides we created today. Hmm. Hang on, I guess I closed something. Oh yeah, we did.
I
It's
don't
just
want that.
showing. Hang on a sec.
Sure.
This is funny. I
You
was
want to
trying to
start over?
make it. Hang on a sec. It won't be but a minute. And yes, we can start over. Um, we got to just pull up our slides. It changed for some reason, so okay. Bear with me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're not going anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I
For a
had
while.
this all.
101 outside. We're not going outside.
Yeah, no, it's kind of toasty in here. Okay, I've got her pulled up here, so I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay. We start it again. Here we go. Welcome to Ancestral Boon with Alex and G. Van Reed here. And I think we're going to hear about Grandmother Ruth or great grandmother Ruth, depending on who you are listening to this. And I'll turn it over to, well, actually, we're going to pull up a picture, portrait of Grandmother Ruth and her cleavage. So there we go. All right. We got you guys nice and big on the screen here.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
You remember this photo portrait that was in the second bedroom at our house? I remember that Zan thought Grandmother Ruth looked scary. Maybe it still does to him. I don't know. Anyway, we have another picture of this portrait that we found online while we were looking for her.
Oh, yes, this one you mean the weekend photo dump.
Yes. I thought that was kind of a rude thing to say about Grandmother Ruth, but there it is.
Very belittling.
Yeah. And this is a little family tree that Justin found for us. And if you look, you'll see Grandmother Ruth is at the bottom. She looks a little younger there. And the people above her are her parents, and the people above them are their parents. And it doesn't go any further than Grandmother Ruth down or sideways or anything. It's just simply just all about Grandmother Ruth.
I see.
So when Heather was talking about what kind of grandmother or great grandmother or whatever about her, it made me count the generations in these pictures. So this goes up 3 generations. Jaden and I are the 4th generation.
Mm-hmm.
All of you grandkids and partners are the 5th. Am I miscounting?
Wait, yeah, you missed Grandmother Mavis.
Oh,
you guys are the 5th. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Nori and Kit.
Kelsey.
Oh boy. Okay, got to forgive me. I'm in a little state here trying to get better.
Yes.
Okay. So we go. You can count down to Nori and Kit being the 7th generation.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
Javen got to know his great grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to, but it's just an interesting phenomenon to think 7 generations sounds impossibly long, but it really goes by pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see Frank died in 1901 and Kitty in 1935, and you were born in 47. So
That's right. That's really helpful.
yeah.
Yeah. Grandmother Ruth was born in 1896 and died in 1896 to 1968. I was in college. My grandmother died.
Yeah.
So
she had a lot of husbands because this is just the first of 3.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's grandmother's.
Freeman there.
Yeah, that's the man that brought all the blonde hair and blue eyes into our family.
Uh-huh.
He's the blondie.
So I scroll down.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are Grandmother Ruth's parents. They're the Whitakers, Frank, and she was the first Kitty we knew. So she was Kitty Whitaker, which is kind of a funny name. And she looks like a pretty spunky girl, don't you think?
Yeah, I like her expression.
Yeah. There were some interesting stories about her. They lived in Montana. And she was a very strict sort of Christian. And they knew lots of Indians in their area. And she couldn't face the fact that they weren't married. So at one point, she managed to line up a whole circle of Indians. And she put them man, woman, man, woman, man, woman, man, woman. And then she had a priest come over. They didn't know was going on. They just thought it was funny, whatever it was she was doing. And I guess they got along all right because she just married man and woman who was around. No other kinds of same-sex marriages. I'm sorry, but it was pretty funny what she did. And there was another thing that was a time was not such a happy story when they looked out their house and there was a very poor and sick looking, I don't know what tribe they were. They're Montana. Some of you might know that.
You know the town that they were in Montana? What area?
In a town that was just in the woods.
Oh, just yeah.
But I don't know how to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw him on his horse riding through their land around their house. And he picked up the little Cyrus you'll see on one of the side photos here and put him on his horse. And then he started making the circle around the house bigger and bigger, with the idea being that if they didn't come out, he would take Cyrus and go himself with the little boy. So they came out with food and blankets and other things he needed, clothing, and he let the little boy down and rode away. So that was a time when the tribes were very not doing well. It's kind of a sad story, I thought, but interesting to have somebody of that age witness that. She also would make a pie and put it on the ledge of her kitchen window to cool. And after she'd done that for part of the afternoon, she came back and almost just picked it up and realized there was a rattlesnake wrapped around it to keep warm. So she put her hands back.
Yeah. So you said Cyrus. So did she have so Cyrus is her dad?
No, no, it's not Cyrus. There's Cyrus right there.
Yeah, Cyrus is Frank's dad. So they must have had Ruth must have had a sibling named Cyrus.
I might have the generations mixed up too.
Oh,
that might have been a story she heard from her mother.
Maybe. Yeah. So it's like, because Cyrus Ventling was born in 1840. So that would be the right time for that kind of homestead experience, maybe.
Huh?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm learning this as we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I don't know so much about Frank, but there they are, Frank and Kitty. That was the first Kitty we knew. So we were pretty excited when we hooked up with Javan and his mom, Kitty. It was fun name.
Especially because we knew all that story about the marriage ceremony, which was pretty offensive and funny.
Sure that.
Now, were these relatives? Were these folks in the Dakotas? Is that where they were?
My grandmother came there, but they were living in Montana, I think. For one reason is when my when Frank died, Kitty remarried a man named Hilger. And there I know there's a Hilger, Montana. So, and then I just got to read something that my uncle had written, and it talked about Montana for them. So that kind of confirmed it.
Good research.
This might be just a time to show you. This is a book that was written about my Uncle Bill, my mother's brother, and he's a wonderful person, just a wonderful human. And he wrote
Swell Times. I love it.
Pardon?
Swell Times. I like the title.
Oh,
I made you guys bigger so we could see.
Oh, okay. And his son-in-law wrote this book about it. This whole book is about his life and everything about him. And fortunately, he talked about my grandmother's second husband because we didn't know a thing about him. So he told us about him. And when we get to that picture, I'll tell you about that.
Okay. I don't know. I don't remember that picture, but I'll share again. We'll keep going. I
Okay,
think the
that's
next thing I have is baby Ruth.
okay. That's my grandmother when she was
Yeah,
first born.
yeah,
And the,
beautiful baby.
one yeah, one of the stories that I think we've always loved about her was that she was sent um, into where the extra food was kept. And it was kind of down the hall and dark, and she didn't want to go there. But she was sent down the hall
Like to
to
the pantry.
the pantry, yeah, down the hall. And she was told to bring back potatoes. But there were a lot of things back there that tasted better than potatoes. So when she came back with the potatoes, her mother said, Ruth, that is jam all over your mouth. And she said, no, it wasn't. I wouldn't eat any jam like that. And her mother said, you have red all over your face. And Grandmother Ruth stood up and said, well, it could be ketchup.
That's where that
So,
story came from. Yeah.
so
That's great.
a saucy girl. I like to think of her as a saucy girl.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah. We're a little
she,
bit
yeah,
older.
here she is, the big sister, and her little sister was named Esther. So Ruth and Esther, really biblical names for them. But
Mm.
Francine resisted that later in, I'm sorry, Esther resisted that later in life and changed her name to Francine, which was kind of a fancy, whoop, she's not there yet. I'll get to her. Oh, the little
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
um, which seemed like, I wonder if that was shocking to her parents to do something like that. But she was a wonderful human being. And I know we do have pictures of her. There's one as a grown up.
Mhm.
Is that come next?
Yes.
I think
That's
it,
later. Here we have,
oh, oh,
right?
yeah. This is grandfather Hilger, who
Oh,
was
this is
my
helpful.
mother, my grandmother's stepfather.
Mhm.
So I didn't tell you that my um, my grandmother tells the story of her father who became ill, coming in the up the stairs front porch and coming into the house, and she was playing, so she was just listening, and her father said to his mother, they say I have until the leaves begin to turn.
It's him.
And she had no idea what that was about. But he
Mm.
had tuberculosis and he died about when he was, I think he was 38 or 40.
Wow.
So she was
Yeah,
real,
it's 41. He was 41 according. Oh
oh,
no,
thank
I'm sorry. He was, yeah, 39, 39. Yeah, he's born in
oh,
62 and died in 1901.
and she was about 10 or near 10, I think, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So it was interesting that when she grew up, she married a wonderful man that we'll talk to you all about, Freeman Mars, Marble. Um, but he died very young too. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so that's why we're looking at the man my grandmother married after her
Here's
husband.
Hilger. Yeah. So I remember
That's,
that name, but I
yeah.
can't remember the stories about him.
Well, he was kind of a grumpy person. Um, so, like one time,
He looks
um,
like a deeply sad person,
oh, maybe. Well, this
or
story
cranky, or
was
cranky.
he didn't. He said he would not eat squash. He did not like squash, but for some reason he loved zucchini, and people just called it um, zucchini, and he ate a lot of it. But one night, one of my parents said to the table at large, "Pass me the squash," and everybody froze, and nobody said anything. But the next time they met for dinner, he said, "No zucchini for me, thank you."
Didn't like
So he
squash.
was going to give up zucchini because he did not want to eat squash by mistake.
Mm, his loss.
Yeah, his loss. So I don't know if it was, I think it was after that. He said to his, to my grandmother Ruth, Root. He was German, so he said root. He couldn't do his THs. He said, I've been tinking. If nobody is no damn good, maybe it's me. I'm going out to the barn to live. And he
Right.
left
To
the
the barn.
house and left the table. And there was a little workshop in this big, wonderful barn that we played in. And so we grandchildren, girls, there were 6 of us, we had free range of the barn. We could use all the tools and climb to the top of it and fall through the, jump onto the chicken house, all that fun stuff. But when we came just into the garage, we'd have to look at each other and say, are we going to knock on Grandfather Hilger's door? Because he could be gruff. But he never was gruff with us. He'd open the door and give us candy.
No.
So that was maybe why he looks a little sad. He put himself in solitude.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I didn't know his whole sad story, but he was a little hard on my grandmother. She loved drama and music, and she was a poet as a child and kept that all her life. And she got a scholarship to go to college to study drama. But Grandfather Hilger said no, they didn't need to do that because she was a woman and woman's work was in the home. So he wouldn't let her go to college. So
Very
it's kind of
sad.
a harsh thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of skipped over some of the things I should.
That's
tell
okay.
you.
We can roll back up to anywhere you want to go back.
Well, I think we should at this point just continue on if that's okay.
Sure. We have Ruth
This,
at what age here? What do you think?
I don't know. Doesn't she look about
She looks
18?
like a poet for sure. Like
Yes, very beautiful. That was my favorite picture of her when I was young. She's very glamorous there.
Mhm.
And I think the next one is when she was a little older. Does that come next?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
That's a
such a
beauty.
different picture of her. It looks more like she was when I knew her,
Yeah.
but it's sort of a serene picture. And I
Yeah.
think that must have been about the time she was married, but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I'm not sure of most of these dates.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's a fun. Do we have Freeman up? No, at the same time? No, he was the blonde.
Here's Freeman.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I think Francine is is
Oh,
is right above
okay.
him,
Well,
so we can pop back up to her. But here's Freeman.
that'd be
Yeah.
great. Thank you. All right. Well, he was traveling the country with a best friend, just sort of horsing around, and they found the best way to meet girls at that point was to go to church in every town they visited. They both had beautiful voices, so they volunteered to sing for the church. And and they were both handsome, and it was a very good idea for finding a girl. So my grandmother was in a buggy waiting for her mother to get out after church. Like some of you know people who like that. And so she waited and waited and waited, and her mother came up very proud of herself and said, well, I invited I invited that man to dinner. And grandmother said, the handsome one, the one with black hair? And her mother said, no, the handsome one with blonde hair. So she was disappointed, but turned out he was also nice. And some of us would think he was handsome, but I think she did after a while. They had a fun time. And he did a lot of things. He drove trucks for some companies, and one of them was he brought fruit from the San Joaquin Valley to the city, San Francisco, and he brought other things that people needed back down to the San Joaquin. And he figured out a car to tow a truck to tow cars, and it was one of the very first inventions of a, I don't know if there's a special name for a truck that carries cars, but he drew up the plans and he took them to, I think it was Ford, but I can look that one up if anybody's curious. And thanks to my Uncle Bill.
Mhm.
And he took the design for it to this larger corporation, and one held him out, and they, instead of inviting him in, they just took them and said, we'll go look them over and get back to you. And then they made a patent out of it for themselves.
They stole it.
If he'd had better luck or better business sense, we'd all be rich, but we made a good story.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, just like, the other thing he did that you know about is he drove a car in the Indianapolis 500, and Kenny couldn't find that in there, but I'm wondering if it was before they recorded, because it was still in the teens, but it was on a dirt road, and I don't know how fast he drove, but he loved doing that. And thank goodness, years later, I met a person from his hometown, which is Sanger, outside of Fresno, who said, "Oh, we all adored him. He was such a good guy, and he always rode his race car in the 4th of July parade."
All
So
right.
it's so great when you get to hear from somebody who was there and validates a picture in your mind. But he was the one. They had a bad crash, and it was the days when the mechanic rode with them, and his mechanic, I think, died. But Freeman woke up in a mortuary, and it was unfortunately for the, what do they call those people, that mortician, because he was taking off Freeman's watch at the time. And evidently
Just to clean it,
Freeman
obviously.
off the table and
Oh God.
terrorized the man, but he lived a while after that. But he too died very young.
Yes, I was gonna
And
scroll
my
back
mother
up
was,
here. The dates. Yeah,
yeah,
1890 to
so
1931.
poor
Yeah.
grandmother lost her father a couple years younger than her, but I mostly remember it from her vantage that she, like her mother before her, he died when she was young.
Yeah.
But
Here they are
anyway, he's a
together.
good guy.
Here's a nice
Yeah,
picture of the two of them on the, yeah.
that's right. Yeah. He looks like she really likes him.
She does. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
looks
looks
like a
neat.
serious man.
Uh-huh. Good hair. Good hair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So shall we get back to Francine? Like I missed her
Yeah,
there.
and I'll rearrange
2
these for the
slides up.
when I publish this. It's right here, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
You want to go
yes,
back and see her
that's
as a little kid?
Francine.
So this is
Oh, thank you.
Francine here, which
With the
I
little bow hair.
recognize her little, the way she held her shoulders from when I knew her when she was in her 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, like that little hunch. It's just so familiar.
Oh, huh.
It's
I'll
so
be
it was
darned.
like when you said who that was, I was like, oh yes, I see that the way she holds herself. I
Oh,
wonder if Ollie will notice that too. Does that seem familiar to you?
and not at all. I don't,
Yeah.
maybe because she played the piano a lot.
Yeah, so here we have her playing. Here we have her as an adult,
Yeah.
theatrical,
Uh-huh.
and then out of
Then I
order
met,
here. There she's
there
playing
it
the
is.
piano. Yeah.
There she's playing. So she was a wonderful pianist, and she accompanied people on and played concerts on her own. And um, one of the stories, when she was young and taking lessons, they had a little concert they were to put on, and she, with a very dramatic chord to begin with, da, hit the keyboard in the wrong key.
Oh shoot.
And, and instead of covering it up, she changed the notes to stay in that key just as she was playing it. She didn't think, she just could do that in her head. This is not a A minor, this is an A major. And she changed the whole thing, and only her teacher noticed.
Nice.
So she
That's
was pretty good. But
mhm.
we loved her to pieces, didn't we, Heather?
We did,
She
yeah.
was
Yeah.
she was a dear.
Yeah.
But This picture reminds me of a story about her when she would come on stage. It was Fresno and kind of a small community. And she was a very dramatic person. She had like a mink coat and high heels. And she came from the back of the concert hall up through the middle and said hello to people like this as she went up, smiling. And there was this tittering of laughter after her, and she didn't know why. So when she got up on stage, the person that was playing with her said, "You've got a bra hanging down the back of your outfit." And she had grabbed her mink coat out of the closet and she was in a hurry, and there was a bra hooked onto the back of it. So that was her glamorous entrance into the theater. So
Love it. I love that
she,
story.
I think she carried it off, I bet.
Probably. That's
But
great.
she
I
was
mean, like, who needs that thing?
well. That another bra story was her husband was kind of well, he was a nice man, but he was silly. He did silly things. And one time they were out camping in the cold in a tent, and she woke up first, and he had her bra that he was using as
That's right.
ears were all.
Earmuffs. Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, we love seeing
There.
pieces. The only trouble was I never practiced, so I always hated going for my lesson because I felt so guilty. And anyway, she cooked us something wonderful and always forgave me.
Yeah.
It was a good
It was, they were,
but
and
like
I,
a
I like her freckles.
feather.
She had red hair, I remember.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, and a really cute house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of houses, that is
Yeah.
my grandmother Ruth's house. And that, let's see, her second husband was from Ohio, and his name was, if you can believe it, Otho Gaither. Otho
Also
Gaither.
Gaither.
So, of course, he had a nickname, which was Oates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just learned this today reading my uncle's book that he grew up in I think it was Portland, but maybe not. It was a smaller town, and worked with his father on sort of like a nursery, agricultural vegetables, flowers, people planting things. Ooh, that's a good picture of that.
Yeah.
Um, and then he sold things like fertilizer and minerals for plants and lime. So he learned a lot about gardening that way. And he went to San Francisco and loved it there. But then he came back to, oh shoot, I can't remember the town that starts with a P. Porterville. That's where it was, to help his parents when they were aging. And he lived in a little tiny house, like a tiny house or some relative house, and married my grandmother. And when she was 38, I think, so it's kind of like I was 35 when Javan and I got married, and he was 39. So they still had some years for fun. And so when his parents both died, Ruth and uh, Oates moved into this house, but
Mm.
it was unpainted wood and it didn't have much going for it. But they turned it into this house that always felt like a palace to me. And all of this stuff that you see here is a big landscape, all of iris. And every year he bought a new iris and planted it in there. They were beautiful, and they were like, gosh, as long as you can see, it's longer than the house. And it was on the other side of the driveway. And I don't know, to me, it looked like an acre wide, but it wasn't really, but it was very wide. And he grew these roses and put their plants around the house that were so beautiful. And he loved trees. He was an olive ranch that he'd inherited from his parents. And so
How did he inherit an olive
we,
branch from his parents? So
pardon?
tell me, I didn't understand the olive. You said he inherited an olive branch from his parents. Is there a
When they
story?
Ranch.
His
Oh,
father was,
ranch. A ranch. I heard branch. Okay.
oh, yeah, peace.
What? Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So he had both um, grapes and olives, and then all
Mhm.
this beautiful flower garden. And he likes grafting trees. Probably learned that with walnuts. They
Mhm.
graft English onto a black walnut.
Mhm.
And so he made a tree that was in our backyard when we lived down the road from them that had three kinds of citrus on it, at least, maybe more. But
Hmm, cool.
lemon and lime, and oranges and grapefruit. And it was such a pretty one. It looked like a kind of a Christmas tree with Christmas ornaments. That
Neat.
was fun. So that was
That is
where
fun.
we loved to go as grandkids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
our cousins came every summer, and we stayed there and played. We had a horse to play with, and my grandmother's a wonderful cook, and dinners were fun, and she had beautiful things. Um,
Yeah, and that house there, that's the house that Alexander and I used the floor plan and the house to draw the plans for our house we built in Humboldt.
I never knew that. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
Neat.
yeah, yeah, that house has meant a lot to me all my life. From running
Yeah.
up and down the stairs, and it had it had some things different. Like it had one, one staircase that came down by the front door, and one staircase that came down out of the back porch. We compromised, but I was really
Mhm.
scared to get put to bed upstairs when all the grown-ups were playing bridge in the front room, and I was sure a bad guy was going to come up those back stairs and get me. And I used to take a knife with me to bed.
Huh? I can relate to that. I wore a cross, as you may recall, for the vampires. No,
Yeah,
didn't you have like a ghost visit you while you were there? Didn't you have a visitation there at her house?
by my grandmother, you mean?
No, I just remember a story where you were a kid and a presence came to visit you and you said no.
That was my grandmother, and it was when I was
Oh,
just out of college, and I was
oh,
at my
so it was she who visited you. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really ready. I didn't want to have anything to do with supernatural. It was too scary for me. And I said, I had to say,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, grandmother. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can see why you thought I might do this, but I can't.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't realize it was that late.
yeah, when my parents were out and my grandmother was having her bridge club or something at night, she would let me sleep downstairs in
No.
a little porch they had. And I could go to sleep with all these ladies laughing and tittering around. But upstairs was scary.
Mhm.
It was so dark at night down there.
Mhm.
You could wake in the night and not see your hand. So I
Mm.
needed a little light in the room.
Yeah.
So still
Yeah.
in my dreams, um, I go there, but my grandmother had a dressing room in between two bedrooms, and we played in there a lot, of course, with all her makeup
Uh-huh.
and nightgowns, her pretty, beautiful nightgowns. But she had a little closet in this closet, and um, in my dream, I open that door, and I'm in a beautiful yoga studio,
Oh.
and I could dance in that. It was open space, all this open space and windows and light. I loved it in there. And interestingly enough, the yoga teacher I have now, I've had for see 14, 12 years now, and his studio looked like that. There
Mm.
was a little place that would have been where my grandmother's um, dressing room was, where we kept all the equipment. But when we came out of that closet, which was dark, that was the room. It was just so amazing that the front was hardwood floor and the lights come that whole wall across. So it was a really interesting place to go more than once in my dreams.
That is interesting. Yeah. It's like a
Yeah, makes me
portal
want to
into
psychoanalyze.
yeah, totally. Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe into an inner space that I should focus on more and listen to and be in it rather than running around crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for that. Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have?
We have this fun picture of Oates and Ruth and the pig.
Oh,
So cute.
yeah, they had so much fun together. And this is my grandmother was so happy with this man. He had all the confidence and he was very debonair. That's why I knew he'd been in San Francisco. I didn't know he'd been selling a manure and other things before that. But he was so lively. There's a white leather chair at Holly and Justin's house and in the corner, and that was his chair. It was green leather before that we had to cover it, but he could sit cross-legged in that chair when he was, I don't know how old he got to be.
We don't
Not
have his death
no,
date.
they
Yeah.
yeah, but I could start with his name perhaps and learn more about him. But he
Possibly.
was happy and good, and he was an adventurer. So we have lots of pictures of him stepping over the rope at the top of a mountain where you're supposed to not step over the rope. So he could lean over the edge and take a great picture like that the rest of us couldn't see until he brought it up, and we were all go, come back, come back, come back. And I think you remember the story. They traveled the globe. In those days, you could retire with $100,000. And I know some of you make more than that a year. So
Not
imagine
me.
life, what a life they had. They went everywhere. We always were waving them goodbye on a cruise or a trip to Europe, Asia. They were just going to go to Africa when he died. Um, but my grandmother wrote me letters from all those places and put a stamp from that country on every letter and brought us beautiful things home. Um, and they just got to do, there are small pictures that don't photograph well because they're taken from far away of them in the woods, camping and horseback riding with groups and friends and all this fun around a table. And later I could show you some of those, but my grandmother wore jeans and they just did that camping a whole lot. And I have an album of where they traveled. And so there are places like Crater Lake and when they were building Hoover Dam. I have pictures of Hoover Dam under construction there. And the road that we go, which one of the, when we drive north between McKinleyville and Crescent City and Orleans.
101? Oh,
One-
299? Oh, 36?
96.
Well, it was just the road that's
Yeah.
between the ocean on one side, and it was something about freshwater. Yeah, wasn't it?
Oh, Freshwater Lagoon.
Freshwater lagoon.
Yeah, the old road, the old account road went around the freshwater,
Yeah.
and the new road went down the coast.
Yep. So, but you'll recognize the same mountain when you come close to freshwater lake. No, just lagoon. Yeah,
Lagoon.
freshwater
Yeah,
lagoon. That and the
it's the same. It's the same precipice.
yeah. When you see it, you know it by heart.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
the highway it went around the other side then, but where the sand is now in the ocean. And they have pictures of the redwood trees and the loggers and visiting a logger camp and riding that machine that they used to carry the wood on and get around in the woods. So, and I think you would enjoy seeing some of those pictures because they look like home
Yeah.
to y'all. Okay.
Maybe.
I'm looking at how late are we going to go to here? Another
Well,
20
there's
minutes.
just two more images on our here, so
Okay.
and then we started late, so you haven't gone too long. Yeah.
Okay.
We started at night, 28 minutes after.
Yeah.
This is just well, I didn't tell you that he died from a heart attack, but before he did that, he fell through the shower door at home just as they were preparing to drive to Canada for a little trip. And he had multiple cuts all over his body. But he went to the doctor and had him bandage him up, and they went on that trip anyway. He
Oh.
just didn't want to miss out on any fun.
Hmm.
So I should put in the story about they were going to Australia, and they were just getting near to land, but the wheels did not come out of the plane, and they
Hmm.
were running low on gas. So
They had gas, but they had to drain the tank by flying around.
oh, but
Oh,
I
so they
didn't.
didn't blow up when they landed.
Oh,
They would they would have burned the gas up before they landed. Just have enough to land.
I thought that they said that the wheels wouldn't come out.
The wheels wouldn't come up, and that's why they had to get rid of the gas.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. But they
Anyway,
were going to land with no wheels.
yeah. So most everybody on the plane was standing up or praying or crying, and my grandmother was not, feeling very happy by herself in the seat because her husband was running around to every window taking pictures because they're very close to the earth. And so he'd take picture and he'd take picture and he'd kiss his wife and then he look at this one and finally she said, "Oh, don't you know this could be our last time together?" And he went, "Well, that's right, but if it isn't, we're gonna have some great pictures." So he was a lovely man to be with. He loved wine, and he wouldn't let people who drank hard liquor drink his wine because he said hard liquor ruins your taste bud. But I wish he lived. It's kind of wine is kind of fading out now with our generation. Interestingly enough, we're back to hard liquor in the world.
Is that right? I didn't know that. I'm out of touch.
Yeah, you would be, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was sweet about it. He never mentioned it, but he didn't have anybody to drink wine with, and that would have been fun for him. But he had fun anyway.
Sounds like it. Who are
Okay,
these women he's with?
okay, one more I have to tell you. He
Oh.
died. He had a bad heart.
Mhm.
So my grandmother, he said it wasn't serious. He just told her it's not serious. So she let him out at the hospital, and he went out, turned around and waved at her and blew her a kiss
Uh-huh.
and died at the hospital of a heart
Wow.
attack. And she
Wow.
knows that he knew when he went in, and he didn't want any sad farewell. He wanted to have he wanted her to see him smiling and waving for the last sight of him, which is very sweet. So
That is sweet.
he was such a great husband. Um, so let's see, we're down here to this is one of her garden clubs, or she was in charge of the Republican Central Committee. She had a lot of things she did as a good citizen. She supported the theater, the local theater, and loved that. She got into drama a little bit that way. So she was just a sweetheart. She liked me to grab her in my arms and do the polka with her. We just polka all over the house. She's just a best grandmother, except Holly's kind of a good match for her too, I think.
Haha. That's right. And
So,
we last here we have a picture of her and Walter.
yeah, that was her third husband, and he outlived her. And he had a hard life. He grew up poor, so he was sometimes grumpy, like Grandfather Hilger. And one time, on the way up to the house, my parents would say to each other, "Don't say anything about politics," because my parents were pretty much socialist Democrats, and my grandparents were strong Republicans. So we always tried to be good together, but I blew it at the table myself one time
You?
because I did it, and I was just a kid. But Dad said, "Well, I'm just going to go to sleep and sleep for a week." And the dinner was so good, and I'm so happy, and I'm just having such a great time. But good night, everybody. And Walter said, well, I work. I get up at 6 and I work out in the yard all the time because I never got to go to school. I never got to be a rich lawyer. My father was never a rich lawyer. And um, and I stood up at the table and I said, he said something even about lazy or something. And I said, don't criticize my father. He got through law school by working 3 jobs. He knows about getting up at 6 in the morning and staying up till midnight studying. And something else like, I don't like to hear you talk about him like that. And then I cried, of course, and sat
Oh.
down. And so I was the one that blew it at the dinner table that time. And the next, he didn't say anything, but the next morning, oh God, you have to tell me. Oh, I know what. He walked by me. I was doing geometry, or no, I think I was doing trigonometry at the kitchen table. And he walked by me and he said, I thought maybe you could use my slide rule. And it was a very beautiful slide rule. And that was his best way of saying he was sorry. So
Nice.
just looks like he had a sad time of it. But as he aged, he got angrier. And at that time, they called it hardening of the arteries, which maybe it is, I don't know what we'd call it now, but dementia or something. So that was kind of a sad ending for him.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, I was in college when Grandmother Ruth died. And I still miss her.
Yeah.
She was a wonderful grandma, made Christmas perfectly and everything else. So
Is she also a pie baker?
yeah. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, she wasn't very tall and she was sturdy at the end, and she walked kind of like this on her little short legs. And we thought every pie she made was perfect, and they were so good, fruit pies. And then we found out was actually the foreman who came up to the back door with 3 empty pie shells. And we learned from him that when the pie didn't come out perfect, she used it as a frisbee and threw it as hard as she could into the grove. So,
Love that. And
yeah.
then the other story I remember is about her knowing when your mom was pregnant with you. Is there?
Okay. Yeah. Um, so Heather and Holly's dad, Bob, and I went up to Canada, to British Columbia, and there's a famous hotel there that you've probably heard of called the Empress. And I'd heard that you're supposed to go there for tea, and I wanted to go there. It was too expensive for us, but I could at least walk through. And I wrote to my mother and said, I can't believe it. Maybe because this place is so beautiful, but it feels like grandmother's here. I just feel grandmother here. And my mother said, well, Alex, there was a time in 1947 when your grandmother was there. And she had one of the fancy teas, and then she had her tea leaves read. And they told her that I was expecting you before I knew it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So you can see why my grandmother maybe tried me out to,
Yeah.
join her in the craziness of all the things we don't know.
Spiritualism or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well, we'll all probably think of more stories. I know you will, Heather. You're so good at supplying them. Did you take
I
it?
turned off the share. So is that
Oh,
okay? Yeah, I stopped the share. Did you?
I didn't mean for you to, but it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I should have said that. I'll keep thinking of stories as
Yeah.
Heather
We will
might.
add.
I really appreciated what you added because I would have
Oh,
wished I had.
yeah. I know. I can't think of. I do remember the stories about the house, and yeah, I remember the Hilger moving out. I remember the stories about oats
Yeah.
were, yeah. But I just, yeah,
Yeah.
that there was like a feeling that there was magic and connection with spirits and psychic energy around Ruth.
Yeah.
And some of it's your wonderful imagination when you were a little girl in her house. But
Yes.
then, yeah, and then weren't you pregnant with me or when you were at that hotel and didn't it come down a generation too with Mavis? There was some
No.
other story about maybe you were just
Oh,
pregnant with me when you were there. Yeah.
I don't really remember the timing of that.
Yeah. I just remember it was 3 generations of like
Oh.
knowing. Yeah, we'll have
Well, there
to.
was my grandmother in a dream saw a lady in blue holding a baby. Is that the story?
Oh,
And
I don't.
she came oh,
Tell me
she
that.
came up to the woman, so looked like the Virgin Mary in blue robes, and she was holding the Mary, I'll just call her, was holding a baby, and grandmother came up and said, oh, "Is that Leslie's baby?" My
Mm.
cousin, and Mary covered the child and said, "I'm sorry, but you're not going to get to see her."
Oh, wow.
So that's what happened.
Mm.
She died in August, and Leslie, she didn't get to meet Leslie. Or no, that was Leslie. I can't remember when Leslie. Oh, Leslie's born in October. My grandmother died in, I don't even know now what month, but it was a little girl, and Leslie named uh, her darn, I can't remember her daughter's name now.
Audrey? Audrey?
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you, Audrey. Yeah, she named her Audrey Ruth is what she did.
Ah, yeah.
So that's the only other woo-woo birth story I remember, but
Okay.
yeah.
It may just have been that you were pregnant with me when you went to the Empress.
I don't remember
And
that.
then, yeah, I know that there is a connection to my birth and
Oh,
Mavis and Ruth. Yeah. So, but that maybe
well, you,
Holly remembers. Maybe I invented it. Sometimes I steal Holly's stories too in my.
now you know why Penny and I argue about them.
I know. I'm like, I'm very agreeable now because memory is yeah, it's
Well, we've
weird.
learned from our president there are lots of facts.
Yeah, alternative truths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have been thinking that I might be brave enough, and I love my sister so much about inviting her to one of these, so
Oh,
we
that'd
could
be
argue
great.
a little bit about
That would be
stories,
fun. Yeah.
talk about our own childhood together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it'd be fun for her probably to watch your videos and then come in and say her what she remembers or add what she remembers to the yeah. Um yeah, I'm sure you guys are grown up enough now where you will be very civil.
So I got nervous at the beginning, and that's what happens when I get nervous. I can't keep my words together.
Oh, you did great. You were very clear. Yeah, I think whatever this happens to me too. I feel like I'm struggling more than I am to
Yeah.
the
Okay.
viewer. Yeah.
Great.
So
I didn't.
yeah.
I
Shall I
didn't
turn
want.
the recording off? Let me turn the
Oh,
recording off.
it's not bothering me. Whatever you
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it is. It's terrible. Like I'm still when I'm anxious. Phew, I can't think.
Yeah.
Happened at the vet today. We were talking about the phone number, and she said, "Well, go get your phone." And I came in, and I didn't know how to call anybody. It was a very
It's
weird
such a
feeling, but
weird, I bet. How scary. Yeah.
oh, it's like so just woo. I hope I get over that.
And I didn't know
You
what
will.
going on because your screen was weird.
It
I never
was.
seen a screen like that before, and I had no idea what it
I
was.
know it.
And you were like, "What is this?"
I know.
I had never seen it before. They
Yeah.
upgraded her phone.
It's really been hard because
They didn't upgrade mine,
he's
and
glad
and they don't look the same anymore.
they
Oh,
don't
wow.
things places. So that's been really tough.
Oh man.
Yeah, we hate
That
those
is
new
hard.
things sometimes. Yeah. But I just told the woman, I'm sorry, I'm having mental difficulties these days. And she just said, no problem. And, went from there. But it's really a bad feeling. But I'm not embarrassed of it because
Good. Yeah.
tell people, but I sure hope I eventually get over that.
You will. You will.
Yeah.
Sounds like everybody thinks
Yeah.
she will.
Already- I mean, you're already getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell
A
the
lot.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I could tell like when you were stressed because had trouble getting your Zoom to work when you were in the
Oh.
room below, and then finding the gallery and just finding your way around Zoom was just really hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
We came up here, right? I mean, the modem's right here at my shoulder.
Uh-huh.
It's like 3 feet away from the computer. So
Yeah. It made
we
a
got
difference.
signal up here.
Yeah. I think you just had a weak signal today, but other days it's just been fine down there. So yeah, thanks for moving.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, your cat is so cute, curled up over there.
Oh, I'm so glad. I
She
didn't
was
know
in
she
there
was
the
there.
whole time. She came and curled up there early in the Zoom.
Oh, after she quit crying downstairs?
We couldn't hear her crying on here,
Oh.
but
Oh.
yeah, there's just early on, she just came and curled up there. She seems
Yes.
tired.
I didn't hear her crying either because
Oh.
she didn't have the microphone.
Oh.
Jumpa didn't.
You got down there?
Jumpa didn't have the microphone. I couldn't hear her meowing.
Yeah. Well, it's always fun to tell those stories, and thank you for doing this
Oh,
again.
my
It's
pleasure.
really
Thanks
nice.
for making it happen and getting all those pictures arranged too. I'll go back in and I think I'll move
Yeah.
Freeman and Francine around a little bit and then write in the labels, the names and yeah, I texted Justin to see if he could do. Excuse me?
Oh, go ahead, finish.
Oh, I just said
I was just going to say, if I find, we're out of sync, aren't we? Okay.
I think it recorded fine, but yeah, our timing was pretty far apart. Yeah, that time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can help us at some point or not. But if I find an outstanding photo, I'll send that to you too, okay? But not
Cool.
every fit. That
Yeah.
sound okay?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I can add things. We can type in stories. We can record audio and add it. Anything that you forget, we can just do a quick audio recording. Anything like that.
Oh, thank you. You're so smart.
It's a great tool. We have so many great tools right now, so it's nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad you know how to do them.
Me too. I know it's fun. Fun to,
Well,
let's see. Yep, looks like Ancestral Boon got recorded on YouTube somehow, but they got a lot more of our fumblings than they probably whoever watches that stuff would want.
I think anybody else just might fall asleep.
I